4 Academy Award winners will not see their win live on television and will be shown during commercial break. Which 4 are they? Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and hey, author of the complete unofficial so-and-so Academy Awards guidebook, which you can buy on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, yada, yada, yada. Just have to throw that plug out there. Anyway, folks, we are talking about the Academy Awards. I love the Oscars, you know I do, and the Oscars kind of went through a little bit of a tumultuous period this year. They wanted to introduce a couple changes, one of which was introduce a Best Popular Film Oscar, which thankfully got vetoed almost immediately. But the other thing that they wanted to do, and this has stuck a little bit, is they want to present some of the Academy Awards off camera to save on time, whereas they will give out the award during the commercial break, and then they'll show like a little clip of the winners later on. And we didn't know what ones they were going to actually show off the camera, and now we do. As you can see right here, Academy unveils the 4 Oscar categories to be presented during commercial breaks. Now, I have not read this list, and that's why I'm making this video right now. I want to see live which categories they have deemed off the broadcast. I'm assuming it's going to be the shorts and maybe one of the technical categories. Probably not the song at this point, but maybe a sound editing. I don't know. So anyway, let's look at this. And by the way, before we continue, I love all these banners for The Incredibles 2, like, please consider The Incredibles 2, and it's like, no, don't consider The Incredibles 2. That's one of the weaker nominations this year, but I still like the movie, but Anyway, the winner's speeches will air later during the broadcast. Okay, in a break with tradition, the Academy Awards in 4 categories will be presented during commercial breaks when the 91st Oscars are broadcast by ABC on February 24th. The affected categories are cinematography, film editing, live action short, and makeup and hairstyling. Well, I was sort of right. Okay, before we continue, it's going to be interesting to see why these 4 were chosen. The cinematography, that's usually a pretty big award, and actually Alfonso Cuarón is one of the nominees, and if Roma wins the cinematography award, which has a very good chance of doing, of course, then you're missing seeing him get an Oscar, and maybe even potentially his only Oscar. I mean, yeah, I know he might win director, but I'm personally saying don't count Spike Lee out. He might surprise. Film editing, that's a major award. I am very surprised that that's being shown off camera. I'd actually personally replace cinematography and film editing with the sound mixing and sound editing. I don't think anyone cares about those. Makeup and hairstyling, okay, I can agree. Although when you have makeup and hairstyling off camera, then you don't get to see Suicide Squad become an Oscar-winning film. Why would you want to deprive people of that, Oscars? I don't know. Now here's what's really interesting is that they singled out the live action short. First of all, I thought they'd just do all the shorts because let's be real, almost nobody knows what any of the shorts are except for the Pixar short that gets nominated on a near yearly basis. But why the live action one? Like, you would think the documentary short would be way more obscure, like considering how obscure all 3 of the categories are. But why did they single the live action one? Why not the documentary short? The animation short kind of makes a little bit of sense because again, Pixar's in the running, so people are familiar with at least one of those nominees. And I think actually the reason for the live action short is because of the Detainment short. I made that video about the killers of James Bulger and how that's up for an Oscar and how the parents are upset and they want him to withdraw from the Oscar race. And I made a pretty passionate plea that should not happen. Some people disagreed, but thankfully we had very civil comments, and so we can disagree on that. But I think that may be why they singled that particular short category to be shown off camera, just in case it wins, the Detainment short. I think that's like a speech they probably want to monitor before airing it. At least that's what I believe. So maybe that's why. Otherwise, this is kind of random, to be perfectly honest. If you were asking me which ones I would remove, here's what I would remove. The four categories I would remove. And it would be none of these, by the way. I actually think it's important that the Shorts Awards be handed out. I think that's one of the most important categories to give out. Actually, I take it back. Makeup and hairstyling would be one of the categories I'd show off camera. I then would do the 2 sound mixing awards. And then finally, I'd probably do the costume design or the production design, one of those two. I don't think people care too much about those ones. But anyway, let's continue. While the Academy's Board of Governors approved a plan in August to present some of the 24 award categories during breaks in order to reduce the show's running time to 3 hours, it had not been known which categories would be presented under the new format, which attracted criticism complaining that it would mean a downgrade for some categories. In an email to the group's membership on Monday, Academy President John Bailey laid out the plan for this year's show. He emphasized that the Academy is still honoring the achievements of all 24 awards on the Oscars. In the case of the 4 categories that will be announced during commercial breaks, the winning speeches will air later in the broadcast, he said. And that's actually a fair compromise, I think. They could kind of do like a little best of thing. You don't have to see them walk up. You don't have to... I'm just curious at this point, will they also acknowledge the other nominees? Because that's where things can get a little testy too. If you just show the winner but you don't show who the nominees are, that could feel like the people who didn't win got totally shafted. Because a lot, especially when it comes to like the live action short film, those short films rely on just being nominated to be noticed. And if their names are completely taken out, then that's a problem. People might not see the shorts. Additionally, Bailey explained, with the help of our partners at ABC, we will also stream these 4 award presentations online for our global fans to enjoy live along with our audience. Okay, that's a good compromise. Fans will be able to watch on Oscar.com and on the Academy's social channels. The live stream is a first for our show and will help further awareness and promotion of these award categories. Bailey, who in addition to being president sits on the Board of Governors as a representative of the cinematographers branch, said the executive committee of 6 on the Academy's 17 branches volunteered to have their respective awards presented under the new system, and that the Academy selected 4 of them. In future years, he said, 4 to 6 different categories may be selected on a rotating basis in collaboration with the show's producers. That's an interesting thing, because that kind of suggests that maybe this kind of gives them like a good way that if, say, there's like a hot button nomination in one of the categories, then that year you could show that off camera, just in case the sensitive one wins. According to several sources, a video demonstration of what this new format will look like was shown to the various branches. It is said to have included most of the presentation minus the winner's walk to the stage. The goal, they were told, was to include the spirit of each winner's acceptance speech, although the speeches could be edited if they turn into a long list of thank yous. Okay, I agree with that. Several of those who saw the video demonstration said it provided a respectful acknowledgement of the affected category and helped to ease their concerns. And also, I should also mention, by rotating it out, although you'll never see like actor, actress, or director like in one of the rotations, it also says no one's safe, no one's protected, everyone gets siphoned through at one point or another. So there's that. As a rationale for the move, Bailey explained, viewing patterns for the Academy Awards are changing quickly in our current multimedia world, and our show must also evolve to successfully continue promoting motion pictures to a worldwide audience. This has been our core mission since we were established 91 years ago, and it is the same today. He also noted that this year's show will include performances of all 5 nominated songs, as well as a performance by conductor Gustavo Dudamel and the Los Angeles Philharmonic during the In Memoriam segment. Bailey concluded, so buckle up, we are committed to presenting a show which we will all be proud of. So, okay, let's go back up. Cinematography, film editing, live action, short, mega. Yeah, not what I would have picked personally, but hey, whatever. Them's how the cookie crumbles, I guess. So, yeah, I guess there's really not a whole lot more to say about this. I guess that's as good a compromise as ever. It's going to definitely make my Oscar pool a little bit more challenging this year, that's to be certain. I guess I'm going to have a computer next to the TV so that during commercial break, when those categories are being awarded, we can watch them on the computer. That's going to be very interesting. But I'm curious, what do you guys think about this? Do you agree with these choices? Do you not? I would love to know. Oh, there goes the heater. Well, comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.